Hi everyone, it's Christina from Card Creations and More by C. I had a request to make a video showing how I make my gift bag style cards, which is a shape card. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The gift bag I use can be found on the Create a Critter cartridge. It's one of the accessories on the worm button. So what I do is I cut 2 layers out with white. Now I don't have a Gypsy or Design Studio, so when I make shape cards I have to weld them together myself. So what I do is I create a hinge. Now this is cut at 7 inches tall, so it works out to be about 4.5 across and then 7 high. So it's pretty much a 5x7 card, and I'll use that size envelope and plastic protector to bag it in. Now what I'm going to do is create the hinge using this little piece of paper that I folded in half. What you want to do is have enough room to put a strip of ATG like that. Then you take your bottom layer and you want to line it up on here. Now what I do is I try to leave just a little bit that's going to stick out on the edge, because if you don't, it opens and closes, like it won't stay closed. So you have to leave that little bit hanging off the edge. So just try to have a little bit. I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of space before my crease. Okay, then run your ATG along the other side of it. Now what I do next is I take my top layer and I position it directly above the bottom layer and I get it lined up perfectly. Then I just fold this over. So there, we've gone ahead and created our hinge. See, that's quite easy, and if you leave that little bit of space in between, then it will open nicely when you add all of your other layers to it. So now what I've gone ahead and done next is I created what's going to be my front layer and my back layer. Now I thought for something different this time I would make it look like there was tissue paper sticking out of the gift bag from the inside. So what I did was I just used this pattern paper I have. It's from Die Cuts with a View, and I went ahead and cut it into 1¼ inch squares, and I just put some sticky strip across the back and then stuck them in place. And I made sure that I lined them up so that they're the same pretty much when the card meets. So we're going to go ahead and adhere this layer down. Now that you have the front, we can just work directly on here. I'm going to go ahead and put the one layer here because it's hard for me to see exactly where the top is with these there. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere the other 3 sides on this part here. I tried to prepare as much as I could ahead of time so that we wouldn't run out of time. Then I'm going to go ahead and you want to line this up perfectly with the front of your card. Now, see, you will end up seeing a little bit of your hinge, but I'm okay with that because I don't have the software to make it work perfectly. So it's okay with me that you can see that little bit of white there. Whenever I do get a Gypsy, then I can make it so that you don't see that hinge, but for those of us that don't have Gypsies, it's easier this way. Now the other thing is we need to glue this down to our handle. So I'm just going to use my Elmer's Craft Bond glue in my little bottle here and just swirl some glue. Okay, we'll open that up so that I don't get any on anything else. Okay, and just press that down really well. Alright, and now we're going to adhere the back side of it. I'm going to, once again, do the top part here, and then I'll do the other 3 sides right directly onto this. I picked this pattern paper. It's also from Die Cuts with a View. I thought that it would be really pretty for the gift bag pattern. And go ahead and line that up perfectly with your card. And then once again, we'll just glue down the handle. Okay. Alright, now you can see how we have our shape card started. So far that's what we have. And look how cute that looks with like the tissue paper. I wanted it to be like a colorful tissue paper. coming out of the top, and I really, really like how that turned out. Now, the next thing that I did was I took and cut the same gift bag again, but I cut off and left only 1 inch of the top and the handle because I wanted it to be a different color than the bottom of the card. So we're going to go ahead, and then I already went ahead and added a ribbon to it just to save time and tied a little knot. So we're going to go right ahead and add our ATG so we can stick this down. I'm going to make sure I put quite a bit here so it's really sticking well. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some glue right here on the handle. And it seems like I have a little bit of air there. Okay. Perfect. And now I'm going to line this up right with the top of my gift bag. And I'm going to open this up actually so that I don't glue the handle on the back side of it. And now, as you see, when you open it, we've got a two-toned look. And look how cute that looks. I'm loving it. And then for the back handle, I did the same thing, except I only used the ribbon but didn't tie the knot. So we're going to go ahead and make that sticky. Good. I just thought, you know, if I'm going to take the time to make this shape card, I kind of want to go all out for it. So I just tried to really make it, you know, very layered and lots of dimension to it. Obviously these shape cards take a little bit longer to make, but I think they're fun and I think that they're worth it sometimes. Okay, now I'm going to line this up again. The top. Glue my handle down. Okay. Now that's turning out super cute. So everybody see how I did that? Now, you know, if you wanted to make this a different color, you could. I could have used green, would have been fine, but I'm not that worried about it. I really like how the card looks, so it's okay with me. Like I said, if you pushed it in tight all the way, then your card would never be able to close because there wouldn't be enough of a crease. Okay, so that's turning out really, really cute. Now, the next thing that I did, we're going to work on the inside pocket. I made a gift card pocket, and I just cut a piece of pattern paper that matches the tissue paper here, and we're going to adhere that on the inside corner. Now, what I did, sometimes I fold in the sides, but this paper being so glittery and textured, like shredded, so I cut it evenly, and then what I did was I took little strips of white paper and I made 3 layers high, and I just created the outer border here with it so that I can adhere my ATG on this, and then it gives that little bit of a gap between that and the thing so you can fit your gift card in it. So, and then I left a little cutout there. So I'm going to go ahead and put some ATG there. This way the gift card's not squeezing into it so tightly, and it should have no trouble holding too. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down. Okay, so now you've got a space for a gift card there, and then you can write a note in there. And the last things that I did, I wanted something else for the front of it. So I went ahead and made a little mat here of red and white paper, and I stamped my sentiment on a white square and then shadowed it with a red square. And we're going to go ahead and stick that onto the front of the card. I used my Creative Memory square maker, but of course you could just cut a square with whatever, just your paper trimmer if you wanted to. I just happen to have the punches, so I use those usually. I'm going to line this up nicely. Okay, so that's looking really cute. Now for my sentiment, I use this Merry Christmas stamp by Hero Arts. I really like them because they're small, so they don't take up so much room. The ribbon is Celebrate It Basic Narrows that I got on sale from Michael's. So I like that. And my last touch for this card, well, not quite last, but almost, is this little Christmas tree from Winter Frolic. And I went ahead, I cut twice as many red ornaments. And the star wouldn't cut for me. I just couldn't get it to cut without shredding a corner. So I just used one of my Creative Memories micro punches and made my own star that way. And it's about the same size that it would have been. I went ahead and put pop dots on it already. And I put a little red gemstone in the center of each of the red ornaments. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere that tree right there. So it just gives the card a little something on the front of it. And then you can open it up. You've got room for a gift card, plenty of room for a note, and the back looks pretty too. The only other thing I'm probably going to do to this card is do a little bit of stitching, and I'm going to do this off camera. I'm probably going to stitch around the handle and then up in this area with my white gel pen. And I'm going to go ahead and add some diamond stickles to these white strands. But I think I'm going to do that off camera because I think I'm going to run out of time before I do that. But so this is how I make it. Now this, like I said, this is the first time I put the squares here to mimic the tissue paper. And I think these are really cute. I actually like making them this size, so I think from now on I'm going to make it 7 inches so I have more room on the front of the card. And like I said, it fits nicely in the 5x7 size. And what else? You can make these for any time of the year. You could make them for Mother's Day cards, birthdays, get well cards, anything. It's a very basic gift bag and it really looks cute. And hopefully if I make enough money for my craft fair, I can get my Gypsy and then I won't have to make my hinges like this anymore. But for right now it's okay. So any questions on the card, just leave me a comment. If there's any other cards of mine that I've made or projects I've done that you would like to see a video on, just leave me a comment and let me know. Thanks. Bye.